So, in today's video, we're going to be discussing a topic that I personally don't like discussing much, or rather, feel a lot of pain in my wallet when discussing, which is how much I've spent in Call of Dragons so far since I started playing, and how I organize my spending, and how I awaken commanders as quickly as I usually do in comparison to other players that spend way more than me and have less commanders awakened. What's up, guys? Meower here, back with a brand new Call of Dragons video. So, it's no secret that I've been playing Call of Dragons for quite a while, and by quite a while, I mean 494 days, and I've learned quite a lot on how to min max on pretty much everything when it comes to Call of Dragons, whether if I want to maximize my power growth or if I want to maximize, selecting proper artifacts and whatever. And I am not by all means a whale. If anything, I don't even spend close to less than 800 a month, maybe much less. Right now, I have a total spent of 22K on this account over the past year and a half or close to 2 years now. So it's been pretty spread out. So it's just a matter of compounded buying more than, just buying everything a lump sum. So what do I spend on? Usually the things I tend to spend on are festive events such as the upcoming Lunar Reveal event. I did make a video covering it, and it's a really good event which gives a lot of value. I spend on the Wheel of Fortune when it comes with the Strongest Lord event to do 100 spins. I spend sometimes on the Forge of Light if I want to grab the artifact. If not, I just buy, the $5 and the $10 pack and stop there. Sometimes I get the $20, but these days I don't spend as much due to the economic situation of my country and the limitations placed on some credit cards. So my spending has become severely limited and much less than I would like to. And some other stuff I spend on, which is always the daily deals. I've been maxing the daily deals every single day since I started playing, and always try to keep the monthly gem pack active 24/7 because these two give the most value out of anything else. As for the gem market, sometimes I pick up the extra $100 if I have a spare voucher or two, but other than that, I don't really touch it. I would say ever since I finished my T5 push, I've never bought any of these packs, to be honest, not even March of Conquerors. I would say March of Conquerors throughout the lifetime of me playing, I've only bought it once or twice, and that's it. Path of Knowledge, I've bought it a few times when I was pushing T5, and the same for City of Hope. Heroes of Tamaris, I usually grab the $5 one if I am able to. If not, and I want to, allocate the limit of my credit card wisely, I don't really touch it. As for pop-up bundles, I always grab them whenever I can see them, except those that you get for leveling up artifacts. I think those are the worst value in the game, but summoning commanders, of course, is always the best value one because it gives universal legendary hero tokens. So that's pretty much how I spend in Call of Dragons. As for the way I approach awakening commanders, right? So I've been playing for a while, so I might have some time advantage, but at the same time, even some players that have been playing the same time as me don't even have the same awakened stuff I have, or whatever. I gotta do a little flexy flex here and there. Gotta flex on some noobs. But that being said, the way I allocate my commander usage is that I tunnel vision on the commanders that I will be using on for the season. So, for example, I'm going to be using Bertrand, Goresh, and Skogul. All three of them are not yet awakened, but I got them all into a sweet spot that can help me be very close to awakening them through using the daily deals, through using the VIP login because I've been VIP for 12, 15 for a while. And of course, I always make sure to buy out the 20 gold heads from the VIP shop. Right now, because my spending, like I said, is very limited, I can't really afford to grab out the usual 39K gems that I spent through the VIP shop. What instead I will be doing is that I will be maxing out the gold tokens all the way to like for an extra month for 4 more weeks of that, and that should give me an extra 80 heads. And then between the events and everything, I should have more than enough to awaken all three of these commanders at one go, with Goresh being the last one to awaken, as his awaken is not really a priority. But since I'm in a very competitive server, having that extra 5% could help me in the long run. But for now, he's not really a priority. Like I said, I'm just waiting for Velen's first wheel, and then I'll try to spin it, give him another skill up or two, and then dump the rest of the universals on him. Same goes for Skogul, and then I'll try to save the tickets whenever I can, or just not have to worry about the Wheel of Fortune in general, because again, I don't want to go overboard. But at the same time, I also want to keep some commanders available for me for the lucky spin, because the lucky spin does give a lot of value, and I still have some commanders to work on throughout the daily deals. So the daily deals are always the most value in the game. Best pack ever. If you can't spend on anything, I highly advise you grab the daily deals. It just accelerates your growth so much and accelerates your commander choice so much, especially if you're lucky. As for the artifacts, the way I approach it is that, well, I don't really bother with artifacts that much. If you've been a fan of this channel for a while, you've known that throughout the past 2 seasons, I've only started to realize the true value of artifacts and which artifacts to go for and which artifacts to skip completely. So, for example, we had Breath of Gigantus last season, or the 2 seasons ago, in the Forge of Light. So I set myself a goal that I will grab it no matter what. So I started saving keys accordingly. And then once it came, I just spun it and spun it and spun it and finally got it all the way to level 5 skill up and was able to max it out immediately. I was very lucky in my draws as well that I got it, and I'm hoping to do the same with the upcoming Forge of Light that will have the Rattle Spear and the Mirage Orb. I need Rattle Spear level 5, but I believe Mirage Orb, I can get away with it without really max it out if I am unable to, but of course I would love to max it out if possible, because most of the value of some artifacts comes from its passive, while some comes from its CC, and that doesn't really need to be maxed out, such as the Mirage Orb. It does a decent amount of damage, but most of the value is coming from this right there. It knocks two enemy legions near the target airborne. And if you don't know, airborne is one of the most disgusting and unaccessible CC in Call of Dragons. The way it works is that even though it can CC you for 1 or 2 seconds, in reality it's CCing you for much more because of the buggy animations and the way CC works in this game. Of course, Rattle Spear, you definitely want it maxed out so you can get the defense penetration. And now that I'm going to be running Nico Kenara, it will work wonders with them. But that's pretty much everything on how I set up, my goals and how I set up everything. And if you want to get help for that, I highly advise you check out the Den. You know, join the Meow's Den so you can get also account coached if you wish. I do have a system up there where you can share your account details, or not your login details, of course, but what you want to focus on whatever, and then we can select your points of strength and work on those and slowly fix the points of weakness till in the end you figure out what you want to do. And it will always help you grow faster in the long run, having a list of priorities versus just pecking at every single thing differently, and in the end maxing nothing, getting frustrated and just giving up or not doing the best you can. But on that note, thank you for watching. I hope you learned a thing or two. Of course, if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask in the comments down below. I would love to answer them. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to drop a like, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Meow meow.